SVG's Jason Dackman here. We are here with a new SVG News sponsor spotlight. I'm here with Whit Jackson of Wasabi Technologies. Whit, first of all, thanks so much for taking the time today. Really appreciate it.
Jason, pleasure to be here. Good to see you again.
Yeah. So, I've talked about Wasabi for a while. You guys have some really fascinating, interesting technology that has grown so fast over the last half decade or so. And the sports production market is starting to get extremely interested in it, especially. So why don't we start with this? Tell us, for those that aren't familiar, what does Wasabi do and what exactly is hot cloud storage, which is the product that you guys offer?
All right. Well, Wasabi is the hot cloud storage company. We focus exclusively on cloud storage, and we come from a long background in doing this. Actually, the company grew out of a prior company called Carbonite that some folks might be familiar with. And Carbonite was one of the very first cloud data backup services that launched way back in 2005. So we've been at the cloud storage game for quite a long time. And Wasabi as a company represents a new architecture, some new technology, and a very simplified way of consuming storage in the cloud. We offer one single tier of high performance cloud storage. And this would be a service that's very similar to Amazon's top tier S3 service. So it's recognized as hot cloud storage, very accessible, very fast, very high performance. And then beyond that, we greatly simplify cloud storage, which has become very complex over the years and quite expensive in some regards, in that we offer one single tier of high performance storage that's priced at a flat rate. And our rate card price for this is $5.99 per terabyte per month. And what's notable about our service as well, not only having a low price point, but we do not charge for data egress. So for a programmer, for a sports organization to pull their content back from the cloud, there's no fees associated with that. There's no fees for any API calls into our service, any other data management activity. So it's a very predictable service in terms of the cost. It's very high performance, and it's very easy to use.
Sure. So that egress cost, let's say buildup, is, I think, one of the big reasons why, again, the sports community started getting extremely interested in Wasabi. As they started going to the very large cloud providers, suddenly it's easy to put stuff up there, right? But bringing it back can be a whole nother thing. And that is, again, why I think a lot of the leagues, broadcasters, and teams are becoming more interested in Wasabi. But from your perspective, how do you see the sports sector as a valuable market for Wasabi? And how do you guys think you can serve them differently and perhaps more effectively than some other providers out there?
Right. Well, sports organizations of, any type are capturing more and more video all the time at higher resolutions and higher frame rates. And this all creates a data storage challenge. There's just a lot more data that needs to be managed all the time. And doing this within the own, four walls of your facility is challenging from a cost perspective. The need to continually be buying more hardware to handle all this storage need, but also the overhead and the maintenance and the support that needs to go along with managing that storage infrastructure. And in many cases, it takes away from the organization being able to do their business, which is running a sports entity, whatever it might be, and then capturing the video and utilizing that video and making it profitable and productive and getting it to the people that need to see it in the shortest amount of time and at the lowest cost. So, that's where we come into play. We are a pure play cloud storage provider. That's all that we do. So we rely on many partners that come from media asset management to other storage systems and storage managers, editing systems like Adobe Premiere Pro. All these applications can interface with Wasabi. And those are the tools that people use to access our service to move content in and out of our cloud storage.
Sure. And, anything that allows the content creators to create the content and not have to worry about all the back end logistics, I think the sports organizations are going to be happy about that. And again, you guys are really targeting sports, but that's not to say that you don't already have some really quality examples of sports users. Give us an idea of some of the names that we might recognize within sports that are currently Wasabi users.
Sure. So, our usage now covers a number of sports leagues like Major League Soccer, like Major League Baseball, a number of individual teams as well, both on the MLB side. So a growing number of NFL teams are starting to use our service. We have a lot of college athletics departments using us as well. Stanford is a notable one that's just on the top of my mind there, where from their production facility, we serve as a nearline backup. We serve as an archive location as well too. Tennis Australia is another organization that's using our service, and we had a lot of activity going on with the Australian Open this year, and the news going around with Novak Djokovic. So a lot of usage of our storage to support the broadcasters around the world that were covering that event. So it really covers, a lot of different types of organizations. The common denominator here is just a growing number of video assets that need to be managed. And then also, as we've all experienced over the past couple of years, remote work is, the way of the world today. It's not going to change. We're probably not going to go back to the way that we worked in the past. So people aren't getting into the facilities, aren't getting into the studios. Content needs to be accessible from many different locations, and the cloud is the way to handle that. And we've seen a lot of people have great success in moving content libraries to the cloud to be accessible from anywhere, moving individual projects to the cloud as well. And this is not only in the sports industry, but also in production of episodic television and feature films as well too. We support a lot of these cloud-enabled workflows.
For sure. Yeah. We're not going back to what it was 2.5 years ago when it comes to that workflow. It will be a hybrid or a remote or a mix of the two for sure. And don't forget about your Boston sports teams. You guys are a Boston company. You guys got Red Sox and Bruins as partners as well, all those. So Whit, I really, really appreciate you taking the time. Wasabi's got all kinds of exciting stuff going on, and welcome aboard to SVG. Can't wait to see you in person at our next SVG event. But for now, stay safe and appreciate the time.
It's great. Thank you very much, Jason.